What is going on, YouTube? It's Brendan from Market Makers. Very excited and very proud to announce I am a brand ambassador for SimpleFX. I've been working on this for some time. Guys, I'm able to offer you a double bonus with our link that's only available with our link up to $5,000. That money is instant. You can trade with it. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to roll it over. SimpleFX is a Forex exchange. It is a CFD exchange. You trade commodities, equities, individual stocks as well. You can trade everything there, okay? CFD exchanges are extremely popular. And with this particular CFD exchange, the reason I pursued them, their UI, their app is fantastic. You guys will find it very easy to use. I have a training video that will be coming out in the next couple of days. They're reviewing it right now. But they also have a demo account mode so you can play on it, okay? And also I have somebody assigned to answer any questions. If you have any difficulty joining, follow the instructions in the video description, but you can go to our website, marketmakers.trade, and Lee can help you out there with getting set up. You will need a VPN in some countries. As you guys know, VPNs are necessary for a lot of exchanges because of the countries are being more restrictive. But with Simple, you can trade with just an email. If you are a libertarian like me, that is very important in this day and age. So guys, in these video series, we're going to go over commodities. We'll go over stocks, indexes particularly, but let me know if you want to see any individual stocks. We can't do 20 a video, but I can show some big ones like Tesla, Apple. Just keep in mind when you're trading these markets, trade primary trend is where your bigger trades are. The Nasdaq and the Russell are in bear markets. The Dow and the SPX are not in bear markets. So what you're looking for on the Nasdaq and Russell is a pump up, a place to short. And of course you can trade breakouts, but that is counter trend trading. And we can see where these peak resistances and support structures are. Now, going back to the equities bubble, you guys know I like to study market cycles. I consider myself a pretty serious amateur armchair historian. I studied market cycles. In the 2000 market cycle, growth and tech led the market and they led the decline. However, the SPX was able to get to its co-equal high in September that it had for March, even though the Nasdaq was already down 30%. And then, of course, over the next 2.5 years, the SPX also rolled over. The equities bubble, the dot-com crash, had the Nasdaq go down by 82%, the SPX go down by 50%, and that is with intervention from the Fed. The Fed was able to hold the SPX at long-term trend. It was not able to do so with the Nasdaq. And guys, history repeats itself. Whether we go up higher from here, how high we go, we're going to trade this both ways. Don't worry about that, but just be aware of the normal flow of how these bubbles pop. Growth and tech lead to decline. You can always check out Cathie Wood's arc for all the stocks that got totally smashed. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into this. Let's look at the Nasdaq first, again, because Nasdaq is in a bear market. I have some clear patterns here on the Nasdaq. First thing I do on all my charts, guys, as you know, I throw them in Wyckoff, okay? Here's our accumulation range. We broke out. We need to hold this as a support structure and then move up. And of course, we got rejected right on the 618. Right here with this red candle, we had a nice blue candle. Pre-markets were up. The markets were up earlier when I was getting ready to record my video, when I made my Bitcoin video, and now they're back down. But what's important here is holding the structure, okay? Keeping that higher low structure. From here, if we can hold this structure and get more bullish, we can break out. I mentioned on my Bitcoin video, the CPI report comes out Friday at 8:30, okay? If that's any lower, you know how the talking heads are on TV. This is great. Inflation peaked. Inflation may have peaked. Doesn't mean prices are coming down. Doesn't mean gas hasn't doubled and tripled in many places, and food prices are up 15 to 20% depending what you're buying. So the inflation prices may be around to stay, but from an equity standpoint, from the hedge funds, from the big banks, June being a bullish month in general, you could see a nice rally form here, okay? So this is what we're looking at here on the Nasdaq. And on the Nasdaq, of course, I'm tracking to my golden rectangle, okay? Look at the dimensions. Basically 1618 phi and basically 618. This is your 200, 233 moving down, which is which? The 200's on top here, the 233. I want to see this rally, okay? It's so much easier to short, obviously, off of a rally on a key time frame like the daily, off of a rally hitting key resistance like the 200, 233. We'll see how this plays out on the daily here. We need more momentum to move up. Let's look at some of our indicators here on the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq, the two most important indicators I'm always tracking are volume, which is still below trend, and volatility, which is it's somewhere in between contracted and expanded, somewhere in the middle. Okay, so this is why we go down to the smaller time frames. Looking at the 8-hour, you can see the Wyckoff structure clearly. You can see us roll over. You can see us hit the 618. You can see the Gann fan being used as support and resistance. Let's go ahead and take the Gann fan off of that level so you can see this. And here's your support line as well for the Gann fan. Now, this is our candle that was big and blue, and now it's selling back off again. These markets are whipsaws, guys. Nobody knows. Keep in mind, we were going into uncharted territory. Longest bull run in the history of the stock market has ended for the Nasdaq, ended for the Russell, and we need to see them consolidate, accumulate, and move back up. And if I wanted to, you could actually put this structure also into Wyckoff here on the 8-hour, okay? So we have our buying climax candle, and we have, where's our reaction? Right here. We have our automatic reaction. And then you can see the steps of Wyckoff play out through here. This is my mini Koff structure, okay? You have your volatility, you have your base, you come back up, sign of strength, you fall back down, down thrust, sign of strength, turns into an up thrust, hits the 618, falls back down to support, volatility in the range. You can be in this range for a while. We need to be in this range for a while to let this spool up and explode up. That's what we want to see. We want to wave up, okay? And of course, just like we did here, you want to see a breakout above this structure. And looks like you got to get above the 618 here. You can see the 618 at 12,927. And this may just be a couple candles like this, where you get a breakout, which is why you got to track your volume, a leading indicator, and track your volatility. Or you may get a cup type pattern, which is fantastic because then you have the ability to trigger order that as well, okay? And then you can move up, and we have to tackle our long-term moving averages, 144 and 233, and these will be descending. So this depends how long we are down here accumulating. As they start to descend, you start looking at your key confluences for resistance. If these manage to make it down to the 618, I mean, that's a key level. Key retracement level, it's already rejected you. Long-term moving averages are descending. We'll see how long we are accumulating for, and let's see if the indicators can give us any type of notion of that. You're already getting volatility contraction here on this time frame. Your RSX is at the median line. Your volume is beautifully down left to right. Remember, like a coiled snake, a spring. You want this to contract, and then it explodes. That is how you get these big volume bars, high relative volume, volatility expansion in a channel. RSX will be shooting up. That's what we want to see. And of course, this could always go down. If that inflation report comes out, hotter, if that CPI report, even as rigged as it is, comes out hotter, expect these markets to roll, okay? Because the markets, what they're going to think is, oh no, now the Fed will have to be doubly tough. They may raise rates more. So expect these markets to roll. These are variables you have to account for that we can't plan for in a sense of we don't know what the inflation number is going to be till that report's out, okay? So just be aware of that. That is Friday morning pre-markets, 8:30 Eastern time. I'll make a video right afterwards to talk about it and what we can expect in the marketplace, okay? So this is the 8-hour time frame. These are some steps we need to see. If we look at the 4-hour time frame on the Nasdaq, again, you could do the same thing, put this thing in Wyckoff. The numbers are going to be the same. You got to get above the 618 and spring out, okay? Now on the 4-hour time frame, this is the whipsaw market that you're having, okay? You're 200 and 233. As you can see, rejection, tested again, rejection, massive pump back up, rejected at the 618, roll back down to support of the Gann fan, pump back up through, I think that's the 200. Let me look. I usually color change these. That's the 200. Pump back up above the 200. Hit the Gann fan resistance. Roll back down. These are whipsaw markets, volatility markets. You can obviously zoom into the 1-hour time frame. You can trade these. I swing trade. I'm looking for bigger moves. Okay, bigger moves. I'm looking for this to break down, lose key support, or break to the upside. Because if this breaks down, it could be on its way to make its new lower leg. Okay, and let's look at some commodities while we're here. Let's look at natural gas. Guys, I've been trading this in our Discord channel. You can join our Discord in the link below. This is the join button right underneath the video. Been trading in and out of natural gas, me and some members trading on SimpleFX. This had a gap up opening. You see this? Natural gas, the way to trade this right now, this is a daily time frame. You got to trade it on a pullback. I think natural gas, all the contracts in natural gas are bought early before winter, okay? So natural gas has the real potential to double from this price. It's at $9. It could easily go to $15, $18. It just depends with the world environment. Obviously, we have a conflict over there in Europe. So this can easily double, but you don't chase this, okay? You need this to pull back down, and you do get pullbacks after these peaks. You will get sell-offs. You will get people taking profit. Great, fantastic rise up here. So this is something that I'm watching, but again, it's near its high up here. I want this to roll back down to a key support level, and again, it would be fantastic if it comes down and checks this 45 angle here on GAN. If it ever comes back down to this channel, we get our volume reversing, going back up for bullish momentum. That will be fantastic to potentially trade. Looking at WTI, here's the thing to understand about energy, guys. I made a lot of money in energy when I was younger, and I lost a lot of money in energy. When you have parabolic rises in energy, I was trading right in the early 2000s, okay? When you have parabolic rises in energy, you have to understand at some point, if we get economic destruction and the economy actually does visually turn down for even people that are in full denial, when they start seeing the economy crater and business slows down, manufacturing slows down, demand slows down, energy always has the ability to dump. Now we have supply constraints. We have a political party in power that hates this type of fossil fuel. Okay. They want everything green. So there's a lot of catalysts going for higher energy prices. And so we'll see how this plays out. But just like with everything else, you want to trade oil on a pullback, okay? Don't want to chase oil. It is highly volatile. It is liquid black gold. And we were trading in this channel. Again, we trade it in and out of this in our room as well. We've been trading in this channel, and you get a lot of volatility movements here. This is my 55 whole EMA. Again, fractal trade 15, the trend gradient moving average. You can select whole. This is a 55. I kind of use it as a trend tracker as well. And you can see we're trading in this channel. And again, accuracy of the GAN fan, guys, when you lay it out correctly, you hit your GAN fan and then you got rejected here. I want to see this pull back down, and I would love to see this pull back down to retest the top of the channel. Give me some significant drop, because oil is so crazy. If Saudi Arabia comes out and says they're going to give us a better deal, or if they say, nope, we're not going to give you a better deal, this can change at any moment. Biden's been begging, okay? He changed his diapers. He went over there and he's been begging for them to produce more oil at a cheaper price. We'll see how this develops, but the catalysts are in place for higher energy. In my room just a couple of months ago, back when we were trading down here, okay, back when we were trading in the low 90s, people were asking me, where do you think oil will get to? And I said we could easily get to $120, $130. And then sure enough, we skyrocketed up to $130. And I'm looking at $150 to $200 a barrel by the end of summer. Okay. Now things can change. We could have different policies come into a place, but if everything stays the way it is, I'm looking at 150 and up for oil. We'll see how this plays out. If the economy starts falling apart before that, obviously, oil demand could roll down, but the supply is so constrained that I think we're going to have elevated prices for some time. It's amazing that just within a couple of years ago, back of the pandemic, we had oil trading negative. So let's look at gold, guys. I see a lot of people on YouTube. I know a lot of people are interested in the metals, and a lot of people think it's a safe haven for collapsing marketplaces, and we're not there yet, okay? Gold had its rise up with the inflation, and now gold waved down. And where we are now is in Wyckoff, as you can see here. I have gold in Wyckoff structure, and we're just waving back and forth, testing our ceiling. Our ceiling happens to line up perfectly with the 0.5, giving us two beautiful rejections so far. And again, I use a trend-based fib here from this level, this blue candle right here, May 16th. This is just a short wave projection to get these levels to see where trends tracking. You can see the GAN fan being utilized beautifully. We could end up coming back down to retest this range. Here's your 45. Again, have to see what the CPI says. If the CPI comes out lower, right? The fake inflation number from the Fed, you could see gold dump because, again, remember, these markets, especially the metals, are heavily manipulated. Okay, these are the big banks, the hedge funds. They take out contracts on these things. Several banks have been fined multiple times. JP Morgan Chase has been fined for manipulation in the metals space. So just be aware, this will be a valuable asset, but you could have a lot of volatility in here as these fake inflation numbers keep coming out, especially if they keep coming out lower. Okay, now when you see the markets decline, we'll have to see how gold reacts. In 2008, and that market crash, gold dumped with the markets. It didn't dump as much as the markets did, but a lot of that is because you have to remember liquidity, right? So if these big banks own contracts here, they have to sell what they have to sell to get their money out when everything else is dumping. So that could have been a lot of it too, was panic selling. So we'll watch gold, we'll watch silver. It's in the same boat. You can see they both found the base. They both rose up to the top. Could see some volatility here. We'll need to get a breakout above our trading range, looking for a cup type pattern and a breakout based on volume. I'll keep you guys updated on that as well. All right, guys, that's the video today. Tomorrow I'm going to look at Tesla. We'll look at some key stocks, and go ahead and write your suggestions in the comments. Tell me what you want to see, and I'll keep mixing it up, and we can focus on some other things as well. Check out SimpleFX, guys. You guys are going to love that platform. Make sure you utilize a VPN. There's a ton of them, especially if you're on Android. Make sure you get a good one, and let me know your comments, questions, and feel free to use marketmakers.trade if you do have questions regarding that platform. All right, guys. Give me some love in the comments. I'll answer your comments and suggestions there and talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care, everybody.